the advantage. Now, again, with red being all the more a better drafting position, as was mentioned by Coach Zico earlier, I think we can finally see, I was going to say, maybe some change in the sides, but what's going on?
Well, they decided to go like that. I think that RSG is quite confident with the way that they're drafting. Maybe the Frederick will not be the first pick now for RSG. Maybe something along the lines of a Joy, perhaps, or maybe a Valentina, which I think was kind of... It was not.
It was left open.
It was left open. Wow. Okay. Rare times. Also, Novaria. We have to talk about that hero because clearly BURNxFLASH made a good use of that hero because of the way that they drafted the Beatrix plus the Franco, the greater hitbox, and of course the vision that they get out of it.
With having just the Novaria and Beatrix itself, we saw in the middle lane, right after the bounty hunt, they made full use of that. They have the damage to fully capitalize that catch potential from K7.
A slight adjustment coming in from RSG's side. They are banning out Glue within that very first phase instead. Does that mean that we're going to see a different opening from RSG?
100%. I think there you go, the Novaria. So I really like this adjustment coming up from RSG. ATM, although he wasn't really like making the biggest plays whatsoever, on a theory, the lineup of BURNxFLASH worked because there was a way to zone out the damage dealers coming up from RSG. Carry had a bad time just because of this glue.
All right, if that is the case, will we be seeing it once again, right? Going instead of playing the traditional front to front, we're looking to front to back and maybe looking for those side angles. Arguably, even the Beatrix early steal away from the side of BXF.
100%. I think the Beatrix will be picked up here to go with perhaps a jungler, an early jungler, maybe along the lines of maybe they snatch a Frederick or Valentina plus the Beatrix.
Oh yeah, I do like that. The Valentina. Oh no, you were right about. We were right about the roles, not right about the heroes. It's Wan and Frederick.
We didn't notice.
Yeah, we didn't notice because it was banned out by RSG. So how do you answer this? You don't have a Farsight kind of deal with it. Maybe somewhere along the lines of Lolita late into the draft. But for now, it's going to be the Martis for RSG.
Wait. Eugene. Does Diablo have a Phoveus?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You gotta ban that out if you are BURNxFLASH.
I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that a lot, in a matter of fact. But the fact, at the end of the day, at least we know that BURNxFLASH, they want to play a traditional front to front, right? You know, hit that front line, and then slowly, once you get rid of it, go in towards that back. Frederick is really good at it. More importantly, he's also considered a flex pick in these situations. He could go into the EXP. So it's really up to RSG to kind of pose the question rather than coming up with the answers.
Oh, it's the Valentina. Talked about that earlier on. So far, I believe it was the Martis that RSG they picked up as their third pick. The thing with Valentina is that it's the matchup between Novaria and Valentina is not as similar as a Valentina v Eve or a Valentina v Farsa, because the ultimate of the Novaria is not the main damage dealing ultimate that you get from. Surely you want the other vision whatsoever, but the real damage comes from the Astrosphere, right? So you cannot copy that for your Valentina.
Or better yet, the fact is maybe Valentina can even turn the tides if she, I don't know, steals an early Decimate from Ray and then looking to take out multiple targets we've seen aggressive teams potentially do towards at least the 3rd or 4th minute.
I think right now having the Valentina itself is already a big pressure onto RSG, right? Telling them, you know what, if you want to go for a roam pick, what kind of roam you want to go for? More on pressure in the early game, or do you want to actually give us big ultimates? As right now, BURNxFLASH, they already shown their cards. They would want to play front to back. They want to find a way to unlock the 1-1 to make sure that every single one of those weakness points are popped early.
Look at this. We talked about Lolita, right? It was banned out, understandably so. But now we're talking about Phoveus. And this is a very Filipino way of drafting for BURNxFLASH, where maybe the 4th pick for BURNxFLASH is going to be perhaps a roamer. Then they reserve their last pick for a potential like Esmeralda, so that when they do give up the Phoveus, they have another layer to counter it. So that might be the answer here. I feel that BURNxFLASH will last pick their ATM hero, get maybe something like a Franco perhaps actually, if it's open. Yeah, I think you go Franco here for BURNxFLASH.
Yeah, no, and this is also an attribute to the fact that they have that flex pick right at the very beginning. So this is why when we see Frederick right at the start, you have that possibility of the Esmeralda later on. But we come back towards RSG side, right?
Yeah.
How do they deal with this? Because at the end of the day, even if they don't get, let's say they don't go for the Phobius, there's pretty much nobody else that really can deal with this Wanwan.
Yeah, 100%. I think maybe a Yuzhong, but that won't be the best. They picked up the Novaria. Great damage on the 1-1 for sure, but they have to have a way to kind of lock down the 1-1. So I'm thinking Minotaur might not be a bad decision, but you know.
Yeah, for Roamer.
For
But
Roamer.
then again, if anything, the Roamer and the XP between those two, it's the XP that has to be the X factor. It has to be the unique pick.
The Arlet is not available. It's not picked out just yet. It's been leaked out throughout all of the band picks.
Yeah.
Diablo is able to play an Arlet, and there could be a possibility that RSG from the previous game they played the teamfight comp. This is probably the time that they want Diablo to initiate and funnel more onto Oki, onto the Beatrix.
So it's the Bane instead. So that's a confirmed XP lane Fredrin. Now for RSG, I think they need to secure Franco. I was about to say Franco because it has great synergy with the Beatrix and the Novaria, as you saw in the previous game. So it's definitely just a mirror move from RSG, like they steal the heroes. Wow! Whoa!
That's right. That's the Jawhead making its debut pick, and I have heard down the grapevine that Diablo's packing heat. This was possibly one of those. Wait, are we sure that this is an XP lane? Yeah, that's gotta be an XP lane, Jawhead, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
it
don't
could
know.
technically go into the jungle so you can get early, like
That's also
again,
true.
get
That's
an
also true.
EXP lead, like a massive EXP lead to keep this 1-1 in place. And then the Atlas to follow up with BURNxFLASH. They got the counter engage for team fights.
I last saw a Jawhead XP that really hurt in ranked games. This is gonna be this is gonna be an acquired taste.
Woo! Okay, so I think that it will be the Martis in the jungle, and then you have the XP lane. You have the XP lane Jawhead. I don't know if it's great versus the Fredrin because Fredrin still has got a knock-up. So it means that your smart missiles might be easily countered by that fact. And also there's a dash from the Fredrin which you get easily. There's so many ways for you to dodge the one-shot combo in the early stages of the Jawhead. So I'm not entirely sure if that will work, but hey, this is Diablo. Right?
It's
Who am I to
Diablo.
say?
Right? I thought the same thing every single time I see Khalid and Badang.
Yeah,
He's a handsome devil.
He's a handsome devil. He
So-
knows what it's doing.
Here's the question as well, now for BURNxFLASH, battle spells.
Ooh, you're right about that. The battle spells is going to matter, but Leo, take us into the land of dawn.
That I will. Here we go. If BURNxFLASH is able to ride that momentum, they'll be sitting at match point, putting RSGSG way more deeper into that back foot. Let's go and see, finally confirmed. Yeah, no, it's a basic 1-1. It's the Inspire 1-1. So yeah, if Diablo plays his cards right, he can burst down this marksman.
So I haven't seen a lot of Jawhead fights going on. I haven't really seen a Jawhead versus a Fredrin. So what kind of matchup should we be expecting here?
Yeah, like I said, right? It's also unfamiliar to me. I feel that you have a massive wave clear on the Jawhead compared to a Fredrin just because of the fact that you have the smart missiles. But like I said, you can dodge the one-shot combo of the Jawhead. So what he does now is to actually put some influence in the mid lane instead.
That's a rotation coming in from RSGSG, and the answer from BURNxFLASH, it's a man-to-man defense, 2-on-2 up top.
Both of the gold laners from RSG and BURNxFLASH, they don't really have a lot of health to work with. As long as a single team from either side decide to really commit to bring down the gold laners, I think that is going to be quite a momentum shift.
And because of RSGSG obliging down bottom, Chima and the gang find a window into taking that small camp. So it's a mirrored movement. So far, no major economic gains on either side.
Yeah.
So I think we're back to square one. I can say RSGSG has reset.
Yeah. By the way, just for the benefit of everyone, let me take you back to January of 2022 when Donut made waves in the Southeast Asian Games qualifier for the Philippines, where he played the 1-1 with the Inspire. He made it famous.
Yep, that was even before it was a thing.
Exactly.
So a year and change into the metagame, and right after Donut debuted it, suddenly it's one of the worst nightmares in pro play. Once more, folks, do bear with us. We want to make sure that this game is as enjoyable for our athletes, for our competitors, as it is for you watching. So let's wait for our marshals to give a signal to give you a better idea as to what may be getting fixed up here.
Yeah.
Timer should be coming up. Now, we have talked about how the 1-1 should be solved by RSG, right? They did open it up. But now, what can they do with their Novaria? Because all the pressure is on them. If you can hear it from our microphones, folks, everybody's cheering for BURNxFLASH. The room is orange. Well, literally and figuratively, if you know what I'm saying. But RSG, the pressure's on them. They now have the power pick of the Novaria.
Surely the way that they should be doing this is for pickups. Just really almost the same as that's how BURNxFLASH did it.
The main tree, right?
The main tree, exactly. So you want to be fluid, you want to be constantly just applying the pressure on specific parts of the map as 3, or maybe, you know, utilize your jawhead to also give some damage, to output some damage. Problem is, I don't think that they have enough tools to go up against the 1-1, right? Surely you can theory craft that maybe if they get a bite with a bloody hunt, maybe they clear out the 1-1 so easily, but it's not going to be easy.
I understand that Jawhead has a gap closer in his ultimate, right?
Yep.
However,
Unstoppable force.
Yeah, however, it's not necessarily that far range either. Unstoppable force still needs to be relatively close. And looking at Diablo's emblems, he's going for the high and dry. Very possibly he's looking for first item, second item, offensive item.
That's right. Bladed Heptases,
for sure.
likely. He is going to have to play off of his flicker timers. And yeah, you mentioned high and dry, previously known as, now called the Master Assassin. I think BURNxFLASH knows. BURNxFLASH understands that that's going to be the dynamic. And I wonder if they have the front line for that.
I think the kiting game is going to be pretty big and huge for BURNxFLASH.
The main front line for RSG might be Beret with this Martis. That's probably your source. And it's kind of, you can outplay the Atlas with that, but because what you want to do is to just either just stay in front, force out the Atlas to use flicker or perfect match in undesired ways, but that might not be enough, you know.
Folks, in case you're wondering, when was the last time we saw Jawhead and of course that cute little girl, Ayn Henry, is M4 actually. It was in a matchup between
RQ
Hoshi. There you go. It was against RQ Hoshi.
Okay.
It was Onyx who picked it. I hope this is a clearer picture for all of y'all. It was Onyx and RQ Hoshi in the Rome, I believe. Wouldn't want to put it anywhere else. And it was in the lower bracket semis. That was earlier this year.
So essentially, Diablo all by himself have given MSC
turtle on the way out, and this gold lane being a deadlock is good for BURNxFLASH despite all the action down bottom.
Yeah, just because it's a 1-1, and now you can see Donut's special. He went for that play, the aggressive play, because D7 already scouted that long bush on the right side, so he knew that it was a safe way to kind of be aggressive and force out Oki to use the flicker.
Now there's a hook!
And of course, immediately with a bloody hunt down on the D7, Oki expanded out of the Bruce Passion and brings him down.
About a minute and a quarter until this next turtle. So far, ATM and Diablo not moving. Here's that question, right? Earlier we asked, what's this matchup like? I didn't expect it to be such a dead lane.
Yeah, it was pretty much. Because this is probably because of Diablo. What he does is just to clear out the waves, then get into the mid lane, right? You want to roam around the right side of the river, and he's not really trying to fight the Fredrin. And I think that's understandable. Remember when we first studied the draft, Fredrin beat Jawhead. You thought that Fredrin will have so many ways to kind of outplay the Jawhead. So Diablo says, okay, I'm not going to be able to kill you. I'm just going to get to the river.
Yep.
Perhaps.
What's the advantage if you don't exercise on it? Right? It's just like, okay, you're winning. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to leave.
Yeah.
In the meantime, up in the bottom lane, it does seem as though Diablo spread a little bit too far as they were looking for an assassination attempt. But it does seem as though they were the one assassinated instead.
Wow, this is so poetic. They countered. The Diablo wanted to go for the proxy too early, far too early. Seagat was ready for that, and he copied the Decimate, just like Gideon theorized in the drafting stage.
Yep, and here's one weakness that a Jawhead has. He has no way to easily get out.
Yeah.
A lot of sustainable XP laners, well, sustainable is already an accepted part, an expected part of being an XP lane, has that in their kit, but no, D7 survives!
He goes for the flicker out of the hands of Lucian Cutie. The fight is going to be split into two, but the main thing is Bray went for ATM. ATM ran away with just a sliver of health, while Bray finds himself down on the ground, finally in the coffin.
Well done, Chima. You will probably you thought that ATM will die, but because of the fact that the deadly catch was there, the knockup was more than enough to kind of slow down the pace of both the Martis and the Jawhead. Two heroes that can immediately eliminate one hero, but because of the deadly catch to counter, they slowed down the pace. They were able to get the turtle out retreating this Brave Martis and then win the battle afterwards.
But it does seem as though D7 went for a single man pickup onto Loose Acuity with the Fatal Links, and Donut finds himself with the weakness proc onto Roy. Roy doesn't really have a lot of help to work with, but Brave moves onto the backlines with the Decimate down onto Donut and connects from Roy onto Zcat.
And that's an engagement that BURNxFLASH thought initially they won, but so far, it looks like there was more space for them to move around closer to mid. And of course, the capitalization from RSG. The past 2 to 3 minutes, I'm guessing RSG is at home here. Yeah. Despite the early kills on Diablo, and of course, Bray having a tough time being one of the main frontliners. This off by Lucian Cutie!
Right underneath the turret, and Roy comes in from behind. Gets the Astral Spear sniped onto Chamar, but it's not quite enough to bring him down, unfortunately.
All right, so this confirms some of our suspicions that early on in this game, yeah, that Bane in Chamar's hand will still play very, very sustained. Now ATM very low!
Oh, unstoppable force onto ATM. This is probably the third time that ATM!
Oh!
Speak of the devil, I thought it would be the third time that he runs away, barely breathing. But D7 continues to move on forward with the Fatal Links that connected on to Roy
Run,
and
Roy,
Diablo.
run!
Roy, do you even have the time? Will you be able to run away? But no, wasn't able to do so. Zcat joins himself in and brings him down. Oki came in a tad bit too late and wasn't able to capitalize that 3-man group up.
Buying time for this next turtle take. It looks like RSG understands that they're also playing on a timer.
100%. I really like that play from Oki. It's really underrated because what he did was to clear the wave. In fact, focus on the lanes so that they can defend their bottom lane turret.
Oh, the bloody hunt down on the Zcat. Diablo as well. Loose Acuity is just going to be appearing right behind on the main lines of BURNxFLASH. But Atlas comes in. He will be able to get a kill down onto the Jawhead. ATM finishes off Diablo and finishes off onto Bray. As such, no retribution. This is the second time that Bray did not manage to get much from the turtle.
Oh, here is me thinking that ATM will not have a good time in this game as the X-Blade favorite, but my oh my, he survived once again, was able to pop the ultimate after the fact that they already received so much damage coming out from RSG. Then they win the turtle fight once again. It was ATM just landing the perfect usage of the taunt so that they will catch 2 people, and then of course Chamar will be the one to deal up damage.
Loose Acuity face checks into the brush where Chamar is, but at least it's gonna be A-okay. It's not dead just yet.
Alright, it looks like RSGSD's comfort earlier in the aggression in the trading was going for them, but wait, D7!
It doesn't seem like the Fatal Link did much onto Diablo, but the entire team of BURNxFLASH pushed themselves on forward in order to secure the second tier.
Was that an unstoppable force dodge?
Yes, yes,
that was
great. It was a pushback.
So perfect.
So yeah, this shows that Diablo has been using this. This shows that Diablo knows the extent of the kit that one Jawhead has. And as I was saying, right, this false sense of comfort that RSG was allowed to have, given by BURNxFLASH, is now going to hurt more as we go into the mid-game spike. Because, yes, you are getting hooks. Yes, you are missing out on these massive Fatal Links, but re-engage potential is huge on BURNxFLASH right now.
100%. Really liking how both teams are playing. In fact, it's like an RSG SG almost losing the entirety of the early game but recovers. But now the recovery was back in the hands of BURNxFLASH now being aggressive. This is the Cambodian aggression we were talking about. It was also 9 minutes in the previous game, so maybe now this is the timer for BURNxFLASH.
Something I'm wondering is Bray slowly getting overloaded because, again, it's odd to say that as a Martis, you're one of the first to face check, you're one of the first to actually front line. Don't you want to be a finisher too? Because, again, Diablo's having a hard time as well.
Well, unfortunately, that is the draft decision coming out from RSG. They went in for a killer type of XP-laner, which kind of means that all of the vision that you need, all of the presence or the front line will now come from the jungle. Surely they have the Novaria for extra vision, but nobody can check the bush all the time except the Martis.
And now with this power spike, again, that 9-minute timer shows that BURNxFLASH are making moves on the map, and RSG Slate SG forced to respond.
Bray has been spotted out, but a mortal call gets himself running away. BURNxFLASH now have got a priority over the Lord, and I'm pretty sure the RSG will not challenge this.
Akun Bong says BURNxFLASH is as free as it gets. Lord scored by them. Again, it's shades of game 1.
With the fatal link down and connect on the Lucian Cutie. Lucian Cutie spends the flicker and gets himself out of the hands of BURNxFLASH.
That was interesting. I could have sworn Lucian was gonna die.
Yeah. But then again, this is still a massive win.
Whoa.
Oh, that's massive. They know where Diablo is. They can smell him.
They know! As Diablo immediately tossed ATM backwards. 4-man poker game. Down at the bottom, all in.
Oh, and D7 survive also. Does have the immortality, and now it's going to be safe. And again, another good macro play coming out from BURNxFLASH at 9 minutes. Once again, just like in the previous game, they were able to get the first Lord by utilizing D7's presence. Just the perfect match, and the second skill is enough. The first skill, I mean, is enough to fend off Bray, especially because the rest of the gang will not be prepared for the defense of the Lord.
Oh,
Yikes.
one good thing is at least RSG SG are getting their resources. There's waves coming in, there's XP, there's gold. But at what point can we see this actually swinging closer to equal, right? Or this gold lead shrinking. It's at 6K right now, and they're gonna go for the top lane push.
Good hook coming in from Lucian Cutie in order to bring BURNxFLASH into and within their walls. But it doesn't seem like he will be able to do quite much right now. As Lucian Cutie is going to be taken up at the front line. Bray as well as the whole lineup of RSG moves on forward. BURNxFLASH with 2 casualties.
Oh, there's the answer. The simplest way to go from point A to B is a
That's
straight line. Defend inside your base, have the strength of your artillery, meaning your inhibitor turrets, and punish.
Yeah, it's really just telegraph coming out from RSG SG, and you can see that BURNx was definitely overstayed their World Cup on the base. Look at the defense. Look at how good the Bloody Hunt is. The catch, I mean, sorry.
The wave clear is so fast coming in from BURNxFLASH. That's a 4-man rush down in the mid, and Shamar just needs to throw out the baby chucks.
Yep, and they understand that they flubbed that push. They understand that that siege could have gone so much better. So now, this is again recovery mode. The first time in a while that RSG SG are on the offensive. They've left their base, and they're making plays on the upper quarter.
Okay, so now it is RSG's late. Definitely survived the first part of the
Not too
rotation.
sure about this. Oh, never mind. Amount of damage is actually amazing from RSG. But ATM, they even have to use the conceal in order to get that movement speed. Oki is now in safe territory. He's around Lucian Cutie. He's around Bray as well. Unfortunately, Diablo, I cannot say the same for him.
One-man fatal links.
Yeah.
That is just vengeance. That is just punitive justice.
Yeah, 100%. And the fact that they traded for X-Plane honestly, BURNxFLASH are really happy, very happy with that trade. Even when they lose, when they have lost their turret up top, the fact that they are not getting punished is going to be good for their lineup that snowballs now. But my oh my, Donut, you gotta be careful with your positioning.
Yeah, no, Roy is slowly coming online at about 13 minutes in with this Luminous Lord spawning. That gold lead shrunk by about a third, now sitting about 3.5K, closer to 4K. This is as close to 50-50 as it gets for a Lord this game too.
Hey. Not too sure about this lost dance, but it seems as though Lucian Cutie is just going to be starting things off with a hook down onto ATM. BURNxFLASH threw everything out, or rather, they got themselves out of hiding. RSG knew that that will happen.
Shama with the pull, but the majority of BURNxFLASH members are very low, and there's Lucian Cutie with a bite!
And it doesn't seem like BURNxFLASH will be doing all to take that back! Every single one of the members for RSG and BURNxFLASH, they are going all in! Wobble combo, Unga Bunga, Donut is not good! And Donut is just gonna be struck down! 4-man from the side of BURNxFLASH, taken down while Oki, the only fatality.
Donut Airlines failed to take off, and RSG SG capitalized. That's a Lord over to the Singaporeans, and BURNxFLASH suffers 4 deaths.
Lucian Cutie with a wonderful snag, and even after the knockup coming up from the Lord, it was a great setup for the Fatal Links, but they didn't have damage because you can see that Oki was intact with the Fatal Links, so he was able to still output the damage. BURNxFLASH suffered to the Meteor's passion, and afterwards they wanted to die onto Donut, but Roy was there to stop Donut from flying, and we are going to see it in the instant replay once again.
And it started with the bite. It started with the bite, and they tried to go for the clapback,
What's that,
right?
Oki?
Oki was just so well placed. Donut was late 2 seconds.
Yep.
That's why he couldn't take to the skies.
Exactly, and Roy on point with that Astro Spear. And now, maybe Donut will eventually think about maybe getting something like a Rose Gold Meteor, in fact, so that at least he will survive the first burst coming from RSG.
Yeah, got a pair of pants.
Get a pair
and
of
then
pants.
That's not the Legion Sword is not
yet.
a Rose Gold Meteor item element.
So that might be one of the considerations now for BURNxFLASH. And big props to Oki on actually the fight. Had it not been for Donut having the Wind of Nature, it would have been perfect for RSG. He still managed to win the fight for the team though.
As now D7 goes over to the back line, they manage to catch Oki! And that is win condition from RSG taken away. RSG knew that they can't exactly take this fight, but Diablo is still sticking around somewhere. D7 has scouted out on the Diablo. They're making a full-on retreat. Where's the damage from RSG? Can they even stay on for this fight?
Oh, but look at this, the angle from Lucian Cutie coming in with the fight!
Flicker! As well, the bloody hunt! Roy takes a kill down on the zone over the Decimate, but Roy coming in from the side, he immediately wants to throw off with the Astral Spear. Because into the C-Cat, not the ATM, not the right person that he wants, but at least both sides, they have tallied out the fight. Oki's coming back, but Donut not quite yet. The Flicker, or rather Diablo, is just immediately jumping right in, and they manage to catch one. C-Cat continues to stay in the team fight. Shaman is just pushing everyone else out. C-Cat with only a slipper. He does have the immortality, but I don't think that he got any much weight to actually catch up to him.
So sweaty. Oh my goodness.
I'm pretty sure ATM's life just flashed back before his very eyes. Same for C-Cat, but luckily he had an immortality. This all started with a conceal into a bloody hunt play from Lucian Cutie. He bit down on Donut, the perfect target. That's visual right there.
Oh, that was a massive win, I would say, for RSG. Even after the fight that you saw that they lost the Diablo afterwards, but they actually popped important immortalities. For example, popping out on C-Cat. ATM doesn't have his own immortality as well.
C-Cat inside his base!
Exactly. And this means that, theoretically speaking, RSG, SG, they will have more resources heading into the next Lord.
I think that's safe to say. Here in Cambodia, they drive on the right side of the street. This time around, how about you flip that around, because it's the Singaporeans now who are in the driver's seat. They're about 1,000 gold ahead. They have vision, and they're first to the scene, and now ATM!
They can actually melt him down!
They popped him!
Oki's damage though!
And literally, you can see Lucian just literally checking the bushes with the iron hook, and he found the fruit. And that fruit was ATM.
That's just the cute one, just doing his job.
Oh, for sure.
So far, thank you for your service. He's sitting at 0, 2, and 12. If in game 1 we won off the back of these 7s, Franco, maybe RSG can get this!
And Fatal Links is just gonna be connected down, but unfortunately they will lose the opportunity to challenge the Lord. But right now, Lucian Cutie, he drives every single one of the members from the side of BURNxFLASH away, and Diablo throws him away! And Oki takes a kill down onto Donut. Bray leading the charge with Oki onto the artillery. Roy is behind as well. They are shoving the entirety of BURNxFLASH away.
The cute and handsome connection.
Handsome connection.
Did you see that?
Diablo with the injector to defend his teammate, and that actually put Donut in a very bad spot. He was, not only did he save his teammate, he got a kill for the team. My God, the handsome devil.
The kind of utility there you can find from a Jawhead, but perhaps we'll be able to see a little bit more. As Lucian Cutie drops off with the bloody hunt on the D7. D7 goes behind the 3-man Fatal Links. Expended the immortality coming from the side of Bray and Lucian Cutie. C-Cat continues on through with a double Decimate. He puts himself down with the Winter Truncheon. It's gonna be his A-OK. But BURNxFLASH, they lost 3 inhibitor turrets, but at least they survived this game.
Bye! That's 3 in Kamai! He got triple kill, and now there's another fight!
They want to continue on to this fight. Diablo joins into the fray, tossed ATM away, but D7 wasn't able to continue from this fray.
Alright, it's interesting how RSG is here so quick and fights, despite just there being 2 left. Oh, this is a 5-man push! This could be it!
A 5-man push right down. D7 wants to proxy in between, and will want to stop Roy as well. Double from doing anything at all. The deadly cap pushes right on, and Donut hammered down on the crystal!
And in